Welcome, this is Pineleaf Needles, Skirmisher Middle Earth. Today I am running my Burglar to help show you what's in store for the Burglar for Helm's Deep. First off, let's see what we have if we don't have anything traded at all. We seem to have most of our basic skills that I associate with playing the Burglar, such as Surprise Strike, Sneak, Share the Fun, Double-Edged Strike, Hips, Burglar's Antidote, Touch and Go, Burgle, and Diversion. So many of these things are still here, and of course Improved Riddle. But now, what do we add when we actually trait something? Now here we have three potential trait trees: the Gambler, the Quiet Knife, and the Mischief Maker. Those three should be quite familiar to you. And as usual, we've got two potential trait trees, and more of them can be purchased using Mithril coins. Now the Gambler uses damage over time and chance to defeat foes. Alright. The Gambler Burglars rely on the roll of the dice to inflict damage and influence outcomes. I'm sure you're familiar with those. And we earn the Lucky Strike, which is activated by Double Strike and applies a damaging gamble. That's something you should know about. And of course, Hedge Your Bet, a quick attack that increases the potency of an existing gamble. And also, your crit chains now unlock on invades, plus 40% stealth movement speed. So those are all nice, useful things. And this is for the gamble line. And I often use the gamble line when I'm on the landscape. So it's good to see that I have something here. What's the high end is Loaded Dice. You always play to win, plus 20%, even the odds proc potency, minus 10% blind bet cooldown, and minus 10% cash out cooldown. Now, the Quiet Knife uses stealth. That's of course the stealth stance. And their two items are Knives Out and Feint Attack. And you get plus 2 stealth level and also plus 40% stealth movement speed. Critical Magnitude, Reveal Weakness. And at the high end we have Improved Sneak plus 100% Surprise Strike critical chance from stealth. So that's what we have way at the bottom. Now what's this all about? Reveal Weakness. Reveal Weakness gains the ability to reduce the target's critical defense. So in other words, it causes Reveal Weakness to be even more powerful. While here, gains the ability to reduce the target's finesse. So they do slightly different things. And Mischief Maker, Reveal Weakness gains the ability to reduce the target's critical defense. So, actually that seems to be the weakness resistance buff. Weakness resistant critical defense debuff, and Reveal Weakness resistance. Oh, actually this reduces the resistances. That's a typo in the definition there. We'll have to take care of that. Now here we get Mischievous Glee. So you need to be a Mischief Maker to get Mischievous Glee. And Trick Disable. And Subtle Stab reduces the active cooldown for trick removals. Note here, it no longer says you cannot use stealth. So the Mischief Maker is now able to use stealth. There is no longer this stance that puts you into mischief, improves your riddle, and causes you to lose all your stealth abilities. There are no more stances at all for the Burglar. Now let's look at the Mischief Maker, since that's what I often use in skirmishes, and see how many of the things that I often use are in here. Now here we have Heartening prank. Okay, that gives you a little bit more morale. Practical joke gives you abilities to more damage when you pull out your tricks. And dust in the eyes now becomes something in the Mischief Maker line, but you notice it's at the very bottom of the tree. Thick skin. And Startling Twist is also down here, and it's a little bit deeper, so if you want Startling Twist, you either have to invest at least 12 points in the Mischief Maker area, or you have to specialize in it, depending on which is better for you. Playful Mind. Perplexing Proposition. And this gives trick removal cooldown, is made a little bit better. Trick counter defense. So we have all the things here. Comedic timing. I noticed none of these talk about small snag. Let's see. None of these are talking about improving your riddle. Actually, where is the riddle right now? 30-second days, 1 minute cooldown. So I'm wondering how you improve your cooldown on there. It's Burglar's Antidote. This Burglar now applies to the Fellowship. So if you want it to be to the entire Fellowship, then you have to go pretty deep in the Mischief Maker line. And here is Clever Retort, also way down here. Clever Retort's one of my favorite skills, so I may be going down into Mischief Maker fairly deeply, at least for one of my 2 versions that I'll be doing. I'll probably have one for Mischief Maker and one for the Gambler. And Trickster is the bottom of this tree. Your next trick is applied to multiple targets and can stack a normal trick. Very well. Now that's what's in the Mischief Maker line. Now in the Quiet Knife line, we have Footpad. Obviously this is useful because it adds to your stealth level. Agile Hands gives you better critical multipliers. And Strike from Shadows, better critical chances from stealth, which is of course something one likes from stealth. And also Aim. Aim is now at the 3rd level of Quiet Knife. So if you want to aim, you'll need to be in Quiet Knife, unless you want to be in a hybrid stance and don't plan to go all the way down, for example, to Trickster or All In. I'll get to all that in a moment. And Vital Points and Backstab are also very deep in here. Flashing Blades is very deep. So some of these things you may have seen are pretty deep in here, like Trip. And at the very bottom is Coup de Grace. And for Coup de Grace, a powerful triple attack that boosts critical damage and marks the target. Now, the Gambler, Leafwalker, which adds the stealth level, is also in the Gambler. Now you notice the Quiet Knife and the Gambler both have +1 stealth level items, but of course Mischief Maker does not. That's where you get the better stealth in the other 2 lines. So they don't get rid of stealth for the Mischief Maker, it's just that it'll be most effective when you're with the Gambler or the Quiet Knife stance. Assuming of course that you put points into there. Very well. Now, Honed Wit, more bleed damage. Gambler's Advantage. So that comes into play there. Stick and Move for evade. See, Cruel Odds, adding to your gamble, is now adds to your gamble chance, and up to 10% in 5 stages. Swift and Subtle. Double Down. Provoke and diversion have a chance to apply a gamble. So you have all these things, of course, tend to be on gambles, which is typical with the gambler. High roller, gambling apply skills, more likely to happen. And all in adds briefly boost your damage, evade chance, and fitness rating to try to finish a fight, but beware if the enemy survives, because for 15 seconds you get plus 50% melee damage, plus 20% evade chance, plus 2064 finesse. But on expiration, your attack speed is slowed by 50%. In other words, the opposite of all the things you gained, you now lose for 15 seconds. So you have to be really in a gambling mood in order to use this. So it's kill them quickly or get beaten upon afterwards. And those are the 3 lines you have for the burglar. Now if I start putting points into these things, see, a little bit extra morale never hurts. Practical joke. Well, dust in the eyes. Well, I don't always use dust in the eyes, but it does come in handy on occasion. And then we have, alright, add some physical mitigations. Never hurts. Now I definitely want, well, startling twist stuns the enemy. And then at rank 2 allows starting twist to affect multiple enemies. And now we have counter defense and playful mind. Now this thing here, the perplexing proposition, requires me to invest quite heavily into practical joke. Now here we have enrage. I never did get along with rage all that well, so I'll probably ignore that one for now. Comedic timing, +2 resistance penetration. And we can add little complicated turns to increases the grace period for your crowd control effects. That never hurts. Now I really love clever retort. Burglar's Antidote, never hurts to make that a fellowship skill. Praising Eye, alright. More reveal weakness damage. And Opportunist. Let's fill in some things down here. And then, of course, finishing off with Trickster. Now, I left myself with 20 points. So, for example, I could add a little bit extra into the stealth levels if I want. Or I could get some critical multipliers or anything else that would really fit in with me. Or should I just go all in, so to speak, for here? Now, in total points I got is 51. So it's a little bit less than my minstrel and even less from my warden. I haven't quite gotten all my deeds done yet on this particular character. And I notice I still haven't done my Moria class quest, so I really should go out and do that. I need 5 more ranks in order to get the critical hit, strike, attacking. Let's just put them into here. And when I get to live, we could make a closer look at everything. Actually, throw some points into stealth. And that should take care of everything. Confound the fools. Minus 15-second Trickster cooldown. Mischievous Glee becomes Mischievous Delight. And Trick disabled becomes Trick improves disable. Those are all nice little things to have in there. Trick for all tastes. Joke with legs. +5 trick range. Minus 30-second riddle cooldown. Alright, I was wondering where the minus 30-second riddle cooldown comes. And it looks like it's when you apply 20 points, when you gain 20 ranks, when you're specializing in Mischief Maker. Very well. And that's what we have in that line. So I get a few extra items in here. Now on live, obviously I will move these into better locations, but since I'm just showing you where I'm going to be going, I'll head out into here. Now I'll get Leaf Walker in order to get that as much as possible and get some bleeds, and some bleeds are very nice to have. And cruel odds, gamble chances, and roll the dice melee damage. Let's get a little bit of each of those. Double down, +1 provoke conversion. Have a chance to apply a gamble. That never hurts. Now here, aggravated bleeds needs little gambler's advantage. So let me throw that in. And swift and subtle. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Exposed throat. Yes, that is. Let's get that open. Even the odds. And high roller. Yeah, let's do a little bit of that. And a sure thing, harmful gamble damage. Increases damage done by harmful gamble. Yes. Very nice. This is going to be a really DPS intensive gambler here. And all in just for the fun of it. Now, anything here? Heartening Frank. Let's add a little extra morale. And add in Startling Twist. Probably won't need anything here. I'm not going to worry about trying to get anything here since I've already got 5 extra levels from Leaf Walker here. I'm not going to try Foot Pad. But practical joke, let's see. I can even now go into here. Physical mitigation, so improve my mitigations a little bit. And add a few more points here. And I am complete for my gambler line. Where my top end is loaded dice, where 20% even the odds, proc potency, blind bet cooldown, and cash out cooldown is improved. And everything here is all set. And when I do this, cash out. A quick attack that consumes an existing damaging or debuffing gamble to apply an effect base type on tier. Consumes damaging gamble for instant damage. Yes. And this has a cooldown of 10 seconds. So you could do extra damage if you've got a gambling thing up there. Gambler Strike, plus 40% gambler. So these are things that you gained in taking this in. So obviously I would have to move this into better locations. But that is how the Burglar is operating now. Let me go back to Mischief Maker. Mischief Maker is the line that I like using in skirmishes since stealth doesn't work all that well in skirmishes due to the soldier, and I like using Riddle quite a bit, so therefore this will probably be my skirmish stance, and the other one, the Gambler, will probably be my landscape stance. That is similar to what I currently do in the game. Now here, plus 3 stealth detection, plus 50% run. Here's my alright, and I can stealth despite the fact that I'm in a position also to take advantage of the riddles. As I said, I won't be using stealth much in skirmishes, but it looks like I'll have the option now if I ever needed to, and it may give me the option sometimes of using this in the landscape. Since in the past I've avoided this particular mode in landscape simply because I wind up killing out my stealth abilities. And as I did here, I set myself to have a little bit extra stealth there. And that is the Burglar for Helm's Deep. Now, I'm sure those of you who are more professional in your burglaring than I am will find much better ways in order to define your burglar skills. And you'll have a chance to do that with the release of the Helm's Deep expansion, which will be a little bit more than a week from the time I release this video. And until then, this is Pineleaf Needles.